Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Skillless podcast. And well, today it's going to be more of a channel update video, or well, I guess audio. Basically, more about the future of this podcast and basically also of this channel too, as well. So, for right now, it's going to be a supplemental. It's going to be short. Who knows how short at this point? But for right now, I just want to give you an update that Josh will be stepping away from the podcast itself, but he has given me his good graciousness, or I should say, like basically his best wishes on me, because I am gonna try to continue onto this podcast too as well. And basically, I want to continue this podcast because it's been kind of the one thing that both me and Josh have started together, but I kind of feel like I've kind of grown more attached to this, if anything, too as well. Like I wanted to like continue this on, and I don't want to see it die, especially with some of those projects that we had before, kind of been like gone up in um, smokes and stuff like that too as well. So I kind of wanted to still keep this going on, and I don't blame Josh too as well, like of kind of like trying to do this every time too as well, because we've been trying to do it at least monthly per time, and time has been a bit kind of finicky too as well. Like as you can see, with some certain episodes being like almost like a month off, or even more than a month of recording like off between each other too as well. So we had so much time to do it too. And also then just trying to find time too as well is like kind of hard between our both of our busy lives and just stuff like that too as well. So but I do want to say I want to thank Josh though, if anything, for at least helping me, or kind of like not helping me, but kind of like letting me join in on this adventure of both of us being on this podcast, and kind of just able to like just kind of just riff, just like have our lives kind of like just not lives out there, but kind of like more like a little peek into what we do at this point in our lives, and kind of like just little life updates too as well. So we've been kind of been um I don't know, it's kind of strange, especially with me kind of like going with this for it too as well. So it's a little bit it's gonna be tough for me to kind of at least start it off, especially with kind of never really knowing what to say or some certain topics. But I'll definitely do have some topics. I'll definitely be still be doing the life updates, and I'll also be kind of like adding a little bit more kind of like more personal self, if anything I want to say, or like kind of get to know me kind of thing. Because Josh went and actually told me about this podcast called So Alright by Jeff Ramsey. And basically it was more of a solo podcast that he does himself. And I kind of only listened to maybe about 2 or 3 episodes, and I kind of got the gist of how the podcast that he's doing at this point kind of gave me ideas on how I want to do this going forward. So the podcast right now is going to be basically just for me for right now for the next couple episodes. I'm going to try to get at least a couple of guests if they want to join up on me, and if see where this goes at this point too as well. I still want to try to get one of my New Year's resolutions, at least for beginning of this year, which was to at least release one podcast per month. And basically, I kind of technically at least have one podcast per month, or at least one audio slash video per month on it. So I'm kind of still on track. But I'll still be here trying to get this done, and basically like that too. But I do want to say thank you, Josh, for at least helping me start up this podcast. Um, as I told you before in person too, that like you're always welcome back to do this podcast too as well. Your seat's always gonna be there. It may be a little bit dusty, you know, a little bit dusty. We gotta get that little bit that as well as the cobwebs off too as well. But you're always welcome back, and basically, just want to say thank you, man, just for at least kind of getting at least this thing started, especially with the 2 years that we've been going on. I basically it's been about 2 years or close to it at this point by the time this thing gets released. Which is kind of crazy to think that we started this podcast for kind of just because we just wanted to start it at this point, and it's kind of crazy. Like we started it off for a good like 13, 12 episodes, which I guess we can say is part of season 1. And then season 2 is basically just basically like when we got came back from the our year long hiatus at this point, since we kind of gotten so busy with our stuff, and kind of like both of us kind of just felt a little bit like burnt out too as well. So we kind of been gun ho and stuff like that too. But we've been it's been pretty fun just recording podcasts, kind of just riffing back and forth, and just kind of just learning about certain stuff too as well, and then kind of like just giving our own life updates and everything like that too as well. Which it's always been fun. I don't know. It's just thinking about those like podcasts. It's always been fun just listening to them. Even back like after giving it a little bit of time away, like it's always been fun just listening to them again because especially like was it before was it we came back, I kind of like wanted to listen to all of our podcasts up to that point, which is I think up to episode 11, I want to say. And episode 11 or episode 14, I don't remember specifically, but I remember listening to it, and I kind of I there's still certain moments where I found that was just too funny, that like it's really just so much fun just to like listen through at this point. And even then, like, got me wanting to go back to like recording the podcast again, which then also Josh wanted to record too as well. So we got this going on and everything too, as you can tell, like from when we update it too. And basically, it's just pretty fun, like just going at it. But it's funny thing too, like during the times that we were kind of like I was kind of waiting, like we decided to set up a schedule at least to like start recording and stuff like that too as well. And even then, at one point, I kind of wanted to like make my own solo podcast too as well on my own personal channel, kind of a little bit like kind of like a get to know me kind of thing, stories and stuff like that too as well. And basically, I was it Josh kind of just came up saying like because I asked him like, hey, do you want to do a recording at one point, because of it was coming up to that day that we usually try to do recordings. And he kind of just said like, I just don't have it in me, so, which I kind of understand, as I said before too as well. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And he gave me his blessings of continuing on. As I said before, he gave me a podcast he recommended to listen to kind of give a kind of like a certain direction on how I can be able to do it at this point. Because as I said, I wanted to continue this on, but I had no idea on how to work it out at this point. But I listened to it. I listened to it while I was working, and then I was like, okay, I think I have ideas coming up into my head at this point. And it's kind of just like that too. So no matter what though, he's still giving me like at least like ideas and stuff like that too as well. But um it's gonna be a little bit like interesting just seeing at this going too as well. So this is gonna be the start of a new chapter of basically a new chapter of Team No Skill, and the Skillless podcast, kind of going on at this point. Um, so but also then I'm gonna see if I could try to get more like on the YouTube side of things. I'm gonna see if I could try to get more videos at least out for like any video, like old recordings and stuff like that too, just between me and Josh, like kind of our shenanigans and everything like that too, like the GTA one, the repo streams that we did too as well. And basically just kind of just he'll still be around, like at least in spirit with those ones. But I'm gonna try to see if I can try to get this going at least a week per anything too as well. So some certain things may be a little bit out of date depending on what stuff I say during that time. But depending on like how well and how much fun I've been having recording these things, I may actually go ahead and start doing it maybe like 2 days. But that's a little bit like that's a little in the future ahead at this point too as well. For right now, it's kind of maybe be a month, one per month, or if not, maybe like a one per week. And basically, it's gonna be a little interesting. So, but yeah, overall, it's gonna be a new chapter. This channel and this podcast is still not gonna be going away anytime soon, as some people might want to, but still, um, but yeah, I'm gonna be your sole main host at this point. I'm gonna be telling you guys about a little bit tidbits of my life that's going on right now, little things I'm interested in, kind of certain stuff that kind of interests me at this point, like topics maybe too as well. And you never know, I may also like do more supplementals too as well, like a not a tier list, but like maybe more of like a top 10 kind of thing at this point too as well. where I give you my top 10 favorites of like certain ideas that I had at this point, give you like the reason why it's on my top 10 list, as well as like certain stuff too as well, because I have made so much ideas on like top 10 lists that I've been wanting to do at this point too as well. And there's just certain stuff that like is may surprise you on like what I think is good and what I think is bad, or what I even leave completely behind that I forget too as well. But I have that at least ideas like kind of stored right now too. That I'm gonna be pulling into the future, and also then too that I'm also gonna be doing a kind of. I'm also adding in like maybe like little like stuff that happened in my past too as well, like little stories and stuff like that too. Like oh man, I don't know if like even some of my friends even know about this. Like with the time where like basically like it's a really quick story, but one point back in when I was living back in Long Beach, there was this Avid night, because I was part of Avid, which I don't remember what the acronym was, but it was kind of more for like college ready kind of thing for college ready for middle schools to get them ready and prepared for the future at that point too as well. So I was part of that program in 8th grade, and basically at one point like they had an Avid night, which they closed down Knott's Berry Farm for the night at that point, and have it just for his Avid kids for the Southern California, or whoever was participating at that time too as well. And basically it's kind of like we went there with my dad, and my mom and my brother went to do their own thing too as well. So we kind of both had our own nights and everything like that too as well. So we went there, and then me and my dad started walking around when we got in. But we went through Camp Snoopy at one point too as well, which as embarrassing as I say, like one of the rides I went on, basically like I kind of decided to try to get on it, but they never was able to get the pull bar at least over me and everything like that too. So it never really fit on me. So basically, kind of like it's kind of like that skit of where Fluffy or Gabriel Iglesias were like basically like he was kind of saying like you could do this, and right, he's trying to pull the pull bar down for one of those janky rides and stuff like that too. Yeah, that kind of happened to me. That kind of really happened to me actually in life too as well. And that was that was a little embarrassing too as well. Kind of slowly getting off the ride and kind of getting out at that point too as well. But that was a pretty fun night though, if anything, for Avid Night. But yeah, just a little more stories about that from my past, and kind of just like little like stuff that you probably might not know from me at this point, that you probably like, oh hey, I didn't know that happened, or oh that's pretty interesting. So, but this will be a short one. I just kind of want to give you guys a channel update, kind of like little ideas on for the future. And basically, I just kind of just want to like say thank you guys for sticking with me. And if you guys want to, you guys can just kind of just, I don't know, just I guess just stay with me at this point and see how far we can go. See what you guys think about this new format too as well. And hopefully that I don't bore you at this point too as well. So. But thank you for listening in, and hopefully you guys have a good night, good morning, and a good afternoon. See you later. See you around. I'm not